So it's that time of year. Rumors as we lead up to the showcases from PlayStation, from Xbox, and from the other showcases that are going to be happening in these first couple of weeks of June. And then obviously, again, like I said, PlayStation showcase tomorrow. So that's going to be fun to see what they have to show off. But here is, again, Persona back in the rumor mill. And as we know, the relationship with Sega and Microsoft is a great relationship when it comes to Xbox, going all the way back to the Dreamcast days and the original Xbox essentially being the spiritual successor to the Sega Dreamcast. And then we finally saw Persona on an Xbox console back in 2022 when Persona 5 released onto Game Pass, and then Persona 4 and Persona 3 came on earlier in 2023. And it was just a big turn that I think is great that Xbox finally was able to get such a massive Japanese game onto their platform, a game that is critically acclaimed. A lot of people love it, and it's for a lot of people their favorite JRPG ever made. So it's good to see Xbox getting more into that, and I think they still need to do a lot more if they want to grow further in the Japanese market. But we have this huge rumor here that we talked about previously, but it looks like it is now getting some more traction and some more fire onto it, as this is from Nate the Hate, who has been known for rumors and that type of stuff. I don't know his exact track record, so again, all of this stuff, take this with a grain of salt, but it's just interesting to discuss as we lead up to the showcases and see how many of these rumors are actually right. And here's what Nate the Hate says on his YouTube channel. It says, Persona 6 is planned for late 2024 and it's a PlayStation 5 timed exclusive. That wouldn't be that surprising. It's probably one of those games that PlayStation wants to money hat for timed exclusivity. How long that timed exclusivity is going to be, we have no idea, because we originally thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was just a timed exclusive, but seemingly that's never coming over to the Xbox platform. But then we have this here. Persona 3 Remake is planned for later this year, and the rumor about the reveal at the Xbox show is true. And then a Persona spin-off comes out in 2024 as well. But the Persona 3 Remake, that is planned for later this year. And if they do show it off at the Xbox showcase, I think that's a huge step forward for Japanese games and Xbox, as there will be people all around the world who are interested in this game looking at Xbox announcing this. And we talked about 3 scenarios as to what could happen here in my previous video. My hunch on this is that they're just going to announce it, and maybe they have marketing rights for it. I don't think there'll be any sort of exclusivity or anything like that, but it would be absolutely incredible if this was a game that jumped into Xbox Game Pass on day one. It would just show people Xbox is trying to make these moves. They are trying to go out there and get those big third-party games that generally you could say you wouldn't expect to show up on Xbox Game Pass or even on the Xbox platform for that matter, as Persona, like I said, just came over. So I think that would be a massive move. I hope Xbox does it. I think that would just set the gaming world on fire in terms of people being excited about Xbox making these moves. Whether you're a fan of Persona or not, it's just something that you should be happy about, that they are diving into getting more of these styles of games onto the service. So hope that happens. But again, this is a rumor. Take this with a huge grain of salt, because we have no idea. Now, there's been other rumors here about PlayStation and Konami. And apparently PlayStation was going to have a bunch of exclusive games that they signed a deal with Konami, and that was Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, Castlevania, and Silent Hill. And now there's a little bit of conflicting information, as we have this report here from Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming, and saying the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake isn't a PlayStation exclusive. It says Insider Gaming sources have revealed that the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake will not be a PlayStation exclusive, despite the rumors online. The Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake is arguably one of Konami's worst kept secrets, with it being understood that the announcement will be at the PlayStation Showcase as a teaser, not a full gameplay trailer, and the showcase obviously is tomorrow. And Insider Gaming sources have revealed that MGS3 Snake Eater will release for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. It's currently unclear if the PlayStation version has some form of exclusive rights with its marketing or potential DLC. So right there, I think this is good to see. I'm very happy about this. And I hope this is the same for Castlevania and Silent Hill. These are just rumors that they're going to be timed exclusives for PlayStation. And if they aren't, and they're coming to Xbox, that's a very good, happy to see that. because it's just more. I think we're going to see a lot of time exclusive stuff at the PlayStation event tomorrow. That's one of the things I'm predicting, that we're going to see tons of third-party and time exclusivity deals, far less than we're going to see from their first-party stuff. I think we'll see like Spider-Man 2, because that's one that is supposed to be coming out this year. But as we know, nothing else is coming from PlayStation this year but Spider-Man 2. I think there's going to be a big focus on VR2 and then third-party stuff. And how much of that stuff is going to have exclusive content, exclusive DLC, timed exclusivity, all that type of stuff that just takes access away from gamers, that's yet to be foreseen. But I think this here, dispelling this rumor, is huge, because for most people, I think out of those 3 games, Metal Gear Solid 3, the Snake Eater remake, is probably one of the bigger ones, like probably the biggest one for a lot of people. For me, I like Castlevania. I do like Metal Gear, but I haven't played every single one. But Metal Gear Solid 3, I distinctly remember playing this one. So seeing a remake of that would be very cool. But I hope Castlevania is one that isn't a exclusive to PlayStation, just so more people can play it. And I mean, we haven't had a new one in a while, and I would love to see what they're going to do with it. The other thing here with Metal Gear Solid 3 is that we know that happened with Kojima and Konami, right? We know that split. I wonder if Kojima is giving his blessing on this game. I feel like he's probably not. He doesn't really have a say in it, because Konami kept all the rights for the game, so they can go ahead and do whatever they want. But I wonder if this will have an effect at all, if Kojima doesn't really give his blessing on this game releasing as a remake, because there are a lot of fans out there that are literally just Kojima fans. It doesn't matter what comes out, as long as it's Kojima, they will like it, they will play it. I wonder if he is against this remake coming out, if they will boycott this game or something like that. We've seen boycotts before, and those generally do not work, but that's just another rumor to keep in mind. Now we have this here, and this is one of these games that I'm very excited for. It's kind of one of those under the radar games that nobody's really talking about. People kind of forgot about it. And it is Assassin's Creed Mirage. We know it's that smaller Assassin's Creed in between their big open world RPG ones, which I love the big open world RPG ones. Some people didn't like the change. I thought they were great. And I also like the old ones. So this game here has me extremely excited, and we have some information about it. They're saying it's a 15-hour story, which with all of the games coming out in 2023, with Starfield coming out, which is probably going to take up all of my game time from September to the end of the year at the very least, being able to jump in randomly here and there in a game that I know is only going to take about 15 hours is perfect, especially for Assassin's Creed, which is a franchise I absolutely love. They say it's a Unity-sized map, and Unity-sized map is fine. I think that's one of those maps that was memed a lot on when there was all that backlash against Ubisoft and the checklists and having icons all over the map. That it's entirely stealth focused. This is a big thing, because as we know, Assassin's Creed generally, a big component of it is stealth. And in the open world RPGs, you can do stealth, but it's far less emphasized, and you don't really have to. You just can go in guns blazing for the majority of your battles. And that was one of the things people wanted back, was more stealth focus. And they're saying here that this is entirely stealth focused, which I think for Assassin's Creed fans like myself from the very beginning are going to be very happy to hear that. A reputation system in the game is going to launch on October 12th. So that's what we know about this game. There is a Ubisoft Forward coming up on June 12th. And I'm guessing they're going to reveal all of this information there. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, going back to the older style of Assassin's Creed, probably for me at least, one of the games I'm most looking forward to here in 2023. Let me know if you guys are Assassin's Creed fans and what do you think about that. And finally, let's talk about Xbox console sales or hardware sales. And we know that the hardware for the Xbox Series X and S year over year in Microsoft's last financial report was down 30%, which was a big drop. And they came out and they mentioned that a lot of this had to do with the supply issues of this console, whether you want to believe that or not. That's the narrative that Microsoft was going with. But there is some good news. There is a change for the positive when it comes to the Xbox Series X and S, and it's in Europe, who just went ahead and proved the Xbox Activision Blizzard acquisition. So it's interesting timing for these numbers. It says here that outlet GameIndustry.biz has posted a roundup of hardware and software sales from Europe last month, and all three big console makers have seen hardware increases over April 2022. The Xbox Series X and S sales are up 19% this year, with big gains for Sony and Nintendo also. So there's a 19% increase right now with the Xbox Series X and S in terms of sales. Now, the question here going forward is, what is this year going to look like at the end of 2023? We saw 2022, they didn't have any big first-party games. they are probably thinking about, we're going to hold back some hardware here. We're going to put more into the cloud, and then we're going to really prepare for massive shipments of these consoles in 2023, as a lot of our big content is coming out, especially when we have Starfield at the end of the year in September. So I feel like there is going to be an influx of a lot more inventory available specifically for the Xbox Series X. And I think that's going to have a huge push in terms of the actual hardware sales for the console. Now, hardware sales, as we know, Xbox isn't trying to out-console anybody. It's just something a lot of people like to compare and talk about, but it is not their end-all and be-all strategy. Their end-all and be-all strategy is the ecosystem, getting people to jump into the ecosystem on whatever access or ever platform that they are on. And we're seeing it expand out even more as we're seeing the deals that they made with like Boosteroid and NVIDIA GeForce now come to fruition as Xbox games are being offered on those platforms. So Xbox is continuing to expand out. I think we'll see a bigger influx of a Series X's specifically, like I said, as we go through this year. I know in my market where I live, it still really hasn't changed. The Series X, where I live specifically, is the hardest one to get out of all of the consoles. PS5 you can walk in and get. Series S you can walk in and get. Series X you can get, but it's more on and off. It's not nearly as consistent as the other two consoles out there. And I think we'll see a big change with that, with the Starfield marketing on the box when that game is about to launch. And speaking of Starfield, we got this tease here from Aaron Greenberg saying, excited to have our marketing and PR teams here in person at Bethesda Studios to talk all things Starfield game, and just a picture of the Starfield team here with Todd Howard right in the picture. So they're getting ready for this Starfield Direct. They're probably right now looking at the gameplay, looking at what they have available, looking at the footage that they are going to show off, and determining what's going to stay in the show, what's going to get cut, how they're going to present it, all of that type of stuff. Very, very exciting. I can't wait for the Starfield Direct, but this is just kind of a tease, getting you ready for what is to come on June 11th. But I'm going to leave the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.